welcome back to my channel. In our previous video, we studied about plant tissues, particularly about the meristematic tissues. In this video, we will further study the plant tissues, particularly the permanent tissues. So let's get started. The new cells formed by the division of meristematic tissues elongate and on maturity get differentiated to perform specific functions. These cells do not divide further, hence they are called permanent tissue. So a permanent tissue is a group of cells in which growth has either stopped completely or for the time being. Permanent tissue can be classified into two main types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is composed of cells that are structurally and functionally similar. This tissue provides support and protection to plants. Simple permanent tissue is further classified into two types: protective tissue and supporting tissue. Protective tissue consists of epidermis that forms the outer protective covering of the plant and protects it from external influence. The epidermis is generally made up of a single layer of closely packed cells. The outer walls of the epidermis are generally thick and covered with cutin. The cutin reduces loss of water. Cork is also a protective tissue located at the periphery of the roots and stem. It is made up of thick walled cells that are dead. In leaves, the epidermis has special cells called guard cells that control the opening and closing of stomata. Supporting tissue comprises the bulk of the plant body and provides support to it. It is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. The cells of parenchyma tissue are thin-walled, living, and have intercellular spaces. The shape of the cells may be oval, spherical, or cylindrical. Parenchyma tissue is present in almost all parts of the plant. The main function of parenchyma tissue is to store food. Parenchyma cells with chloroplasts found in leaves help in photosynthesis. They are called CHLORENCHYMA. AERENCHYMA is a modification of the parenchyma tissue in aquatic plants to form a spongy tissue that creates spaces or air channels which allows exchange of gases between the shoot and the root. Collenchyma tissue. The shape of the cells of collenchyma tissue is either circular, oval, or polygonal. The collenchyma tissues are found below the epidermis in young stems and petioles of leaves. The cells of the collenchyma tissue are thickened at the corners due to the presence of cellulose and pectin. Intercellular spaces are generally absent in collenchyma tissues. The function of collenchyma tissue is to provide structural support to growing stems and leaves. Sclerenchyma tissue. The cells of sclerenchyma tissue are long with tapering ends. They have a cell wall which is thickened all around due to the presence of a complex substance called lignin. These cells are generally dead and do not contain any protoplasm. This type of tissue is found in the stem and veins of leaves. The function of sclerenchyma tissue is to provide mechanical strength to the stem. Sclerenchyma tissue is of two types, sclerenchyma fibers and sclereids. Sclerenchyma fibers. The fibers of jute, cotton, hemp and husk of coconut are examples of sclerenchyma fibers. Sclereids are a reduced form of sclerenchyma cells with thickened cellular walls. Example, grit of pears, shell of walnuts, etc. Complex permanent tissue is made up of two or more types of cells that are specialized to perform a common function. The main function of these tissues is to transport water and food materials. Therefore, these tissues are also called conducting tissues. As we saw earlier that simple permanent tissue is divided into two types, protective tissue and supporting tissue. Similarly, complex permanent tissue is also of two types, xylem and phloem. Comparison between xylem and phloem tissues. Xylem conducts water upwards from the roots to the shoot system, hence it is also known as a water conducting tissue, whereas phloem transports food materials from the leaves to other parts of the plant, hence phloem is also known as food conducting tissue. Xylem is made of mostly dead cells, whereas phloem is made of living cells. Xylem is located on the inner side of the vascular bundle, whereas phloem is located on the outer side of the vascular bundle. That's all for this video. If this video was helpful for you, then do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and also don't forget to subscribe my channel. Bye bye and take care. I'll see you soon in my next video.